From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher, and their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicky Fisher, and our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Scripchuk. Their mission: to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Welcome to the Garage Heroes in Training podcast. We just finished a race and we got hardware. Who else is here?
I'm Vicky.
And I'm Jennifer.
Jennifer's here. Yay!
Yeah.
I think I overdid it with hardware. I think we got more like plywood, but that's okay. Plywood counts. That's good. Ladies, we had a race this weekend.
We did.
It was at PittRace. The weather was junk on Friday.
Oh, it was so terrible.
Oh, so cold and windy and rainy.
Yep.
And wet.
Yep.
It was all the things.
It was all the things.
It was
Are
typical
people in
Pitt.
Pittsburgh, okay.
It was typical Pitt.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we arrived, we unpacked, we went and got our favorite local Italian place, Vicky and I. Jennifer got in late.
We did. Yep.
Yeah.
Ladies.
What's the name of your typical Italian place?
Vinny's.
Vinny's.
That
That's
is very good. They certainly make some mean food.
It's relatively cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's close to the track.
Mm-hmm.
But luckily, we didn't have to worry about things being close to the track because we had a jet.
Yes, we did.
We could go anywhere we wanted with our jet airplane.
Yep.
Ladies, I believe our theme went well. You guys did the decorations and the design, so I'm going to bequeath the podcast to you for theme related.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer, you want to lead that? This was Jennifer's idea.
Well, I was standing in line at Target. It all started when? And I looked over to my left and there was a cup. And the cup had Maverick on it. And I took a picture. And Bill, if you look back in your text, I sent you a text. And I don't know if you responded or you responded with a question mark or something. But that's where it started, the line at Target. So we decided to go with Top Gun. And I knew that Top Gun was probably something pretty common, probably something that was already done. But
she tells me,
was it done well?
So we dubbed it Over the Top Gun.
Yes. And then it just spawned from there. Yep. Yeah.
So
we just had lots of great ideas.
There will be pictures on the social medias. There was lots of video, but you took Top Gun. We went over the Top Gun. What did you do to the car, ladies?
Well, naturally, you had to make it look like a jet. That was the goal. So we planned it out a little bit, and Vic and I were playing around with some ideas to try and give it that illusion. But yeah, that was the end goal, was to make it look like the jet without wings.
It had wings.
Yeah.
I saw wings.
Well, it did. It did have wings. It did have wings. Yes.
Jennifer and I really bounce off each other because this is, above all, when it comes to creating things, this is where we are at our best. So we can be lost for days and working out ideas, and we usually work better when we're side by side, not across a screen or making plans. We kind of have something general, but it's quite organic when we get together. And they usually turn out so freaking awesome. And we end up laughing most of the way through it. And this is what was happening was that we had a couple ideas for the car, and then Jennifer, I think at the very last, was like texting me. She goes, "This is what's going to give it the illusion." So she sent it over, and I just kind of finished it up almost like the day before, I believe.
You guys have done a tremendous job in talking about things, but not saying anything to anybody
so
who
we
does
did
not
it.
see it.
Okay, so we end up doing a jet. It was silver metallic, kind of like a darker gunmetal
gray is what
gunmetal gray. Yeah, and we ended up putting pinstriping on it, and Bill, we have a vinyl cutter, and Bill ended up cutting dots for me, so they were rivets. And it looked like I had placed each one of these dots on all by itself. Somebody went, "Oh my God," all the time. And I'm like, "Nope, it's fine." So we ended up having strips of dots that kind of went up and did everything. Bill had ordered out some Top Gun stuff. I think and then we had an orange windsock that was attached to the hole where the motor and the rear windshield wiper attached. There's a hole there. And through that hole, we ended up having an orange windsock, which was our jet, which held almost the entire race.
It was a
Each
jet
day.
blast. It was the fire.
Yeah, it was
On
the fire,
back,
the
we
jet
had
blast.
a sign that said with an arrow that pointed to the back that had caution jet blast.
Yeah. And the other thing that I think was the big cincher was Bill had shown up with these tap lights that you would put like an under counter but they were colored. So we end up putting some on the car, which green on one side and red on the other. And I think that
as a plane has to have it.
Yeah. And I really think that just kind of sealed it because it was already a cloudy day. So those little lights just kind of made the whole car pop. But it turned out really cool. Except that there were a lot of other gray cars on the track. So we really had to keep an eye out, which we decided we're going to make some alterations to our car.
Yeah. We went back and forth about wings.
Yeah.
That was that. Vicky and I, I dug my heels in on that one.
She did. She really did. I was okay with creating wings and put them on almost like a saddlebag, but Jen was having none of it.
But see here, the whole thing was the delusion of just us knowing that there's wings there.
There was fictional wings. We walked around the entire weekend.
We taped on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we taped them on the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, as soon as that car rolled in there, we jumped out with a roll of tape and don't step on the wings. And we had those freaking little rockets that were taped up underneath the
Oh my God.
the rear view mirror. I mean, one of the side mirrors. Yeah, we had two on each. But you know what? It really did look kind of cool.
It did.
It really did.
It was
And
funny.
of course, all of us in our our flight suits and
Aviator glasses.
Jim Wakeman showed up with a lovely woman named Gail,
Oh,
who he's dating. Oh my gosh, she came dressed as Charlie. Shout out to Gail. Oh my gosh, she was amazing this weekend. She had this little clipboard, and then she would be carrying the volleyball, and of course she was just cute as a button. Oh my God. And she was so sweet. She played right into all of it as if she was there for years. And she was just right in. So yeah, that was good. Shout out to Gail. She did a great job.
Yeah.
Holding her own for the track.
Yeah.
And her part of the team theme effort. So that was a good job. Yeah. And we played up mini skits of the Top Gun movie. As we would we would do flybys of the tower, which was Judge's Tech.
Buzz
and
the
of course,
tower.
we would buzz the tower before we got on track, and somebody would be in there, God dang it, Maverick. And he would like spill his coffee. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did a couple, shenanigans with it. And and us just staying in our flight suits as much as possible with the glasses. And
Vicky's quite the dancer down in
oh yeah,
pit lane.
You'll see that. You'll see that. And
Yes,
what else?
Our Instagram game was pretty strong this weekend.
Yeah,
it really was. It was hilarious.
And then we had the fog machine, which I think we brought it through tech with the fog.
Thing that I insisted on. Because in the beginning of the movie, with the dramatic music, you see all the smoke and the fogs. We had to have the fog machine.
Mm-hmm. So
when
fog
the car pulled into tech.
Yeah, we started off with a fog machine, which made everybody snap ahead. It looked like a fire going on, but it was pretty awesome, I have to say.
Yeah.
I believe there also was a serenade at the potluck.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was terrible.
But
it was awesome when we sang.
Oh, we were awful.
Committed.
We were awful.
We were committed.
Yeah. Yeah. We were truly terrible.
We went with the over the Top Gun theme. Very, very strong. What could be done was done.
That's right. They sang bad in the movie, we sang worse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, many times.
So
somebody yelled free bird.
Yeah.
God, you don't want us to sing free bird.
That's a really long song. Do you really want them to sing longer?
Yeah.
So speaking of which, the probably one of our chief rivals was our friends at Three Pedal Mafia, who win Stadler
they came
and
with
Waldorf.
some theme game this week.
Yes, they did.
They themed hard. They themed consistently.
They did.
We just we huddled up on Sunday morning and said we're not losing to some cranky old dudes, and and we got lucky and bribed the judges with lots of cash, and we came through. So we got Halloween meets gasoline, ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We did. We did win Halloween meets gasoline.
That's right.
Yeah.
Which as normal, we donate to the charity. So life is good.
Yes. Yep. Lemons of love.
Yep. So in spite of this, we actually did go roundy round and did drive in the race. We weren't just there yucking. Well, we were there yucking it up the entire time.
Yeah.
No practice Friday because practice isn't the best for us on Fridays. And then tech was Friday. And then Saturday we had a nice strong race. We were doing pretty well. We managed to talk ourselves into 4 penalty laps, so that wasn't terrible. So we artificially were low, but we were working our way back, and I think everybody did well.
Mm-hmm.
It was Baby Bird's first race ever.
Yep. Yeah. Bradley flew out from Colorado with his friend Blake, and
they had a blast.
They did. They were all in also, and I did not drive this particular race. I decided to be chew crew, and so Blake and I were all about the gas cans and getting down there. So I was schooling him on how to do that, and yeah, so I spent most of my time down there. Jennifer drove for some of the race,
and she drove Saturday.
Yeah, she drove Saturday, and Brad did. I mean, he did well. Brad has been like a sim racer, and we'll talk about that later on, I think, when he comes on.
Yeah, we're going to get Brad on.
Yeah, but it was super to have him there to do that. He was nervous getting on, but I think he did really well.
I think the front tires disagree, but that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's normal. That's very normal to flat spot tires for new drivers.
It was quite funny, though. He hops out of the car and goes, it was like that when I came in. And I think it was a bad alignment, which is very funny because we had just aligned the car perfectly the week before we left. So it was quite funny that, he is a true race car driver. He has his excuses ready. He's ready to go. So
got the list. Got to get him the shirt.
That's right. We need the list. Yep.
Yeah, the shirt. Yep. No, but you know what? He got the hang of it. Unfortunately, they were flat spotted till the end of day 1. and we put the tires on for day 2, and day 2 was a
New
whole
tires.
different, new tires.
Yeah.
And, so who was on our team? Who raced?
We had, starting off on Saturday, we had Mr. Jim Wakeman of Three Pedal Mafia fame. He was followed by Eric Kritzler, also of Three Pedal Mafia. And then we had Brad go in the middle of the day. And then we had Miss Jen go in the 4 spot, our cleanup hitter.
Mm.
And we'll talk about Miss Jen's stint, because we had way too much fun. I don't know if Vicky's aware of this. Miss Jen does not know anything about what we did while she was in there, so we'll have to talk to her about that and give her all the details. And then we wrapped it up with the namesake of our former truck, El Jefe, also from Three Pedal Mafia. So basically, we were taken over by the Three Pedal Mafia this weekend.
Mhm.
And everybody did really well on Saturday, and drove well. It was one of those races at Pitt where, oh, by the way, we had a Honda Civic 93 D series engine, just, for the home game players. It was one of those days at PittRace where if you went off the track and you hit anything, everything was wet and you were going to go for a good ride, long way away. So most likely have to be towed out, because the odds on getting out of the mush were not very good. So, Miss Jennifer, I don't know if you're aware of what we did to you while you were in pit lane. You had, let's describe your on-track incident, if you could tell.
Okay, so I was the back of the track. I don't know what turn it was. I was coming around the turn,
down in the bowl.
Yeah, I was coming down. Yeah, I was coming down.
So that's 5, turn 5.
Yeah, so I had a car. I was watching, and I had 2 cars behind me. And next thing I know, I mean, they were close, but they weren't that close. But I guess, one car had tried to pass me on the inside and bumped my right rear tire. Next thing I know is facing traffic, because he punted me into the grass. So, I mean, it wasn't like a hard hit or anything. It just punted me. That's all. Just spun me around into the grass.
Well, it took the sidewall off the tire and bent the rim, so it wasn't nothing. So
it was But anyway, the car stalled, and I was okay until I was just sitting there looking at traffic coming around the corner, and then I started to get a little nervous because I couldn't get the car started. And Lemons does a wonderful job. All the flags were out. But then, I was listening to Brad, and Brad was saying how, at the morning meeting, when they asked about rookie drivers and like a third stayed behind, like thinking, I was starting to get a little nervous. So anyway, it was all good. The car started and I got turned around and came in.
But the good part has just begun. So Miss Jennifer pulls into Judge's area for her black flag, because, even though it wasn't her causing the incident, there was still an incident. So she did what she should do. So she did a flyby around the Judge's building, and then she came in and Jen, I don't know if you remember, but your hook on the back of your jet wasn't working, so we had to put up the emergency netting to keep you safe. And we caught you with our net in Judge's area. And then,
oh, you did?
Oh yeah, we did. Oh yeah, we did. Okay. And then I believe we proceeded to berate you with every Top Gun name that we could come up with. Threatening about how you weren't safe and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
And then
Eric was really great.
Eric was great. And then,
oh my gosh, yeah.
And then while you were in the car, we were playing volleyball above you.
I that did not know. No.
Yes, we were playing volleyball above and over the car and consistently. And what else did we do, Vic?
I don't remember.
We had the music going. I remember that. I had told Tim Burr, who was one of the judges there that I know pretty well, I said, don't worry about talking to Jennifer. We'll take care of this for you. He's like, oh, please do. So we turned probably a 3-minute penalty into a 20-minute penalty just by we just kept going. We just would not stop. And so that was quite fun. So
Yes,
Yep.
it was. It was a good one.
It was a good one.
So we're sorry you were the person who got subjected to our Black Flag ritual, but
That's okay.
but
It was hilarious.
you
It was
took one
a
for the
great
team.
weekend.
And
Did.
it had to be done. And
It had to be done.
and as with the rest of the weekend, if it's worth doing, it's worth overdoing. And
Over the top gun.
and we did. And then there was some other stuff we did. Well, this is like part one of at least 3 that we're gonna have for this. So we'll get more details on the next one. But and then Miss Jen, I believe you decided to get out of the car for a little bit and let Hefe take over.
Yep.
And then Hefe brought it home strong. Life was good.
Yes,
we
he
were
did.
I think we were like 50, like right
Yeah.
where we were always aiming
Well,
for.
that was overall. So, but we were not terrible.
No, we were
Um,
fifth. Well, remember we were shifted lower because we had penalty laps, so we were subtracting 4 laps. So we were about 50 with penalty laps. So life was looking good. We had a couple things we had to do. We had a little drip of transmission fluid, and we had to change tires because the alignment was off. Anyway, Brad. And then mostly good. Good to go for the next morning.
Yeah.
And I think
Until we weren't.
I think there's this thing called foreshadowing, and then there's this thing called giving it away. That was on the second one. Okay. So Jim started the day, I believe. And then I had a business meeting that I had to be in Huntsville, Alabama at 8:00 on a Monday morning. So I left around noon, and I'm not very far away. And all of a sudden I start getting texts that are not optimistic and not well. So ladies, what happened?
Yeah. So we do know that the leak of the transmission fluid, we believe, is coming from the axle cup, which is not terrible.
Seal.
It's a seal. Yes. It's an axle seal, which wasn't terrible. We decided we were going to continue to send it because
it was like 4 drips in 6 hours.
I think it was Brad that came in. Was it Brad who came in or Jim? No, it was Jim who came in and said that he saw a little bit of smoke or just there was something weird about the car. So we brought it in and looked at it, and we determined that, the transmission was still leaking a little bit, but it didn't seem too terrible. So we figured that we would just manage it and just could send it out. But as the car was backing out.
Who was in the car when it was backing out?
It was Brad was heading out.
Brad was going to get in? Okay.
Yes, Brad was going to get in because Eric had jumped into the other car, 3 p.m.'s car. So anyway, as we were pulling back out, 3 p.m., Chris Abbott, who we refer to as Dr. Honda, had stepped over and basically said, wait a minute.
Captain's log supplemental.
Hey, Jeremy, you know those race cars you're busy building?
Yeah, I do. I got one that I'm looking at every day.
You know what I don't see you working on?
You don't see me working on the amazing Sentinel system yet.
That's true. It would take all of 10 minutes for you to have one.
And it's very quick and easy to install.
It is. It is. And we could watch you when we are not at the race with you and see how you're doing. And then we can call you up when you get out of the car and tell you everything you did wrong.
And I love that because so many years I've been driving and not been able to see what I'm doing.
I know.
And now we can.
I know. You know what I'd like to do with the video? My most favorite thing is I take the video and I load it on YouTube, and then I send it to my coach and say, look at 26 minutes and 17 seconds. Look at this one lap and tell me what I can do better. And every single time, you know what they say?
Everything.
Exactly. Precisely. So with the Sentinel system, you get instantaneous feedback plus useful feedback that unfortunately is accurate for my driving.
I think it's accurate for all of our driving.
Pretty much, yeah. That's probably true. Yep. But You need to get one in your car, sir.
Yes, I do. And with the discount code that you're going to tell everybody, they can save 10% on this awesome system.
Yep. Trouble-free. I haven't had an issue getting video every time we've gone out with the Sentinel. It's always worked. Can't say the same for some of the other systems we've tried. So I don't know. It's on the podcast notes down there. Don't do it while you're driving, though. We like to have our listeners live. It's good.
That doesn't sound right. It sounds rough. So he went over there and he grabbed the throttle cable and he started playing with it. He goes, it doesn't sound right. So we rolled it back in and he did a compression test on it at some point, and we had determined that we believe something's wrong with one of the valves. And I believe that the first two were normal. One had reached 200 in the compression test, and the other one was 45. So we decided that it is not optimum to send it. We decided also, after discussing with Jim, that the power was creating an issue. I don't think we were running on all 4 cylinders. Probably
Chris said
3.
we were running on 2.
Yeah. So we decided that was it for the day. For us.
No.
No. So we decided to run that car down to pit lane and give it a military funeral, which is also on Instagram and Facebook.
Judges area.
Yeah, the judges
That
area.
was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
It was hilarious. And go ahead, Jen.
All I gotta say is I need a chicken horn.
Yeah. We were okay. We had the car covered, and then we did the colors, which happened to be a t-shirt that we folded like a flag, handed it off, said our quick little eulogy. And at that point, Eric had pulled out a rubber chicken and started playing taps, which nobody saw coming.
The chicken horn. It was a chicken horn.
My gosh. And he did so well with it. He played that chicken.
He sure did. Oh my
like
God.
no other.
Are we saying it's not the first time he's played a chicken?
Oh my gosh.
Couldn't have been. Nope.
It was quite something.
An experienced chicken horn player.
Yeah. And then on the second video, you will see, I think Eric had shown, was us playing the theme music as we rolled out of the funeral that we had on top of it. And
that was epic.
Yeah, and everybody was very respectful during the funeral.
They really were.
It was quite so.
It was awesome.
But it was enough to go ahead. It was enough to go ahead and get the car onto the trailer. It barely got into the garage when we got home. I had no option but to make sure I got this car started, because it was just me at the garage to get it rolled back in. But it barely made it. It's in, and probably Monday I'm going to go down and I'm going to go back and we have a couple duplicate engines, so I'm going to take the head off of one of the other ones and send it out. But I don't have time to do it right now.
Because
I am going to comp school.
there it is.
I'm going to comp school, SCCA in Thompson, and I leave tomorrow, which would be Thursday, the 18th of April.
Awesome.
Indeed. Yep. So we didn't do everything we wanted to do, and we didn't finish the race, which is always a bummer. But it looked like we were having a good time, and
everybody got to drive.
Everybody got to drive,
and we won an award, we had a lot of fun. And really, ultimately, that's what we go for, right?
Yeah, it was. All in all, the weather was absolutely terrible.
No, just Friday.
Friday, I think.
No, it was awful.
It was windy.
Yeah, but I do want to give a shout out to a new trailer company. It's a small family company that really pulled me out of a hole that I had gotten into
Yes.
with trailer rentals. The trailer rental comes out of, I believe, Ohio, the company, and it is McWana, MCWANA. And these guys were great. They have a small business, and I know that you can rent your vehicles from RV Share or Outdoorsy, but these guys are really great. And they was like, after I had an incident where my rental had fallen through due to my own negligence on a Wednesday night, Thursday, I managed to get in touch with these guys. They're like, I got you. So they came to the rescue. So I would just like to say that these guys are awesome, and if you guys want to go ahead and use them, you can find them on the interwebs.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had a lot of people coming.
We had a lot of
did.
people, and we did not intend on using the trailer as much as we did, but the weather was just so absolutely terrible that it certainly came in handy.
Yes.
Indeed,
was
it
a
did.
great- Yep.
It was
Worked out.
it was the center of everything on Friday because
Mm-hmm.
outside just sucked.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good time. The trailer was a little tight for everybody we had, but that's okay.
Mm-hmm. It was.
So we ended up in 76, ladies.
Yeah.
Out of what?
112.
76.
112.
That means like will just also think that all those other cars also broke down.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But we have about 7 or 8 weeks to our next race. So
Yeah.
I have a tip on a machinist. The machinists local to me are of the age of where they are retiring. So their shops are starting to close down. I have a recommendation for a machine shop in Allentown, and I have one in Connecticut that I can drop it off to. So it should be plenty of time to get the car ready by then. As long as, but it depends on the machine shop. Always depends. So as soon as I can get this out, which is going to be as soon as possible, we should be okay for the next race, which is going to be in Jersey.
Yes.
Indeed. So we did not take the checker. That's always a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get
But it
there.
was still a great weekend.
Oh my gosh. I know that I was so sore when I came back because we, being in the crew, it was like every 90 minutes we had to go down into the pits, and then we had to make sure we got there. So technically it was like you had to be like on the hour. So taking the suit on and off would be difficult, and I had to wear the race shoes. And I didn't have to, but I did. And I knew I was going to pay for it, but I didn't realize how much I was going to pay for having those race shoes on for that day.
Didn't have any soul.
No, and
No cushion.
nope.
No
I felt it.
push.
I felt it in my ankle to all the way to my back, and I've decided at that point that I want proper crew shoes. If I was going to be in that situation again, it would be nice to have fireproof, proper walking shoes. So that's going to be on my list for the next one. But it was fun. You can catch us on Garage Heroes in Training on the social medias, and you can go see the videos. They're quite hilarious.
Our game
It
was
was
strong.
a great time.
Our game was very strong. And we all, I just, Jeff with those freaking sunglasses, he came out with a pair of sunglasses, then he put a pair of sunglasses over them. And he would just walk up and go, God dang it, Maverick. And
or something like that.
Or something like that. And he would whip off the sunglasses and have another pair of sunglasses on underneath of him. It was funny. And then the shirts. Oh my gosh, the shirts, the muscle shirts and all the
What muscle shirt?
Funny.
The shirts that had the carved muscles on them.
What muscle
They
shirt?
were,
What are you
oh, I
talking
know.
about? What are you talking
They
about?
were awesome.
I trained for this event, woman.
Yeah. It was really good. There were some great themes at this Lemons.
There really were some.
There was a lot of people put in a lot of work.
There was some tough competition.
It really was tough competition. And Lemons. That's some of what Lemons is about. There is racing, but the theming is just
there's a lot of shenanigans.
There was a lot of shenanigans for this first race. I can't even imagine what Jersey's going to be like. New Jersey is like the craziest race.
Like
there's a plan.
Goes, Pittsburgh is practice for New Jersey.
It really is. It really, the thing about New Jersey is that the garages are close together. The paddock is relatively tight, so everybody is together. Yeah. When a pit, there's garages, but they're in different sections, so it's really kind of hard to coordinate. And of course, there's power that runs all through New Jersey, so everybody is comfortable. It's the first warm weather race of our region. So everybody who doesn't make it to pit and get to Jersey, it's like being let out of school almost. And everybody just wants to catch up with their friends. And just so many crazy things happen down there. It's nuts. It gets so crazy. And it's so much fun.
It is.
So I'm looking forward to that one for sure. I always look forward to that one.
We have a special theming opportunity.
There's an opportunity we are discussing.
It's been discussed. It is going to happen.
Oh, okay.
So it'll be an interesting weekend.
Mm-hmm.
As always.
It will be.
Favorite part, ladies? When you look back at PittRace 2024, Lemon style.
The chicken horn.
The chicken horn.
Chicken horn? Okay.
I think it was a funeral on the freaking chicken horn. And the fog machine. The fog machine.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
I have to say, it was good.
It was just a great weekend. Yours, what about you, Mr. Bill? The time you were there?
I think our borderline abuse of you in the Black Flag area was hilarious, and and I think we had my all-time favorite, at least 2 of the top 5 all-time favorite Instagram posts have come from this race. So I had a good time there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Quite fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. I had a good time. I think we did well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We persevered.
That's right.
We did.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just goes to show what can happen when Jeremy doesn't come.
Oh, I can't wait for Jeremy. Jeremy will definitely be in New Jersey. Can't wait to see what happens.
He knew he couldn't come just because schedule and distance and everything. And but then I get these panicking calls on Friday and Saturday, especially like his FOMO kicked in and we couldn't run our Sentinel because Bill had screwed up. And he was just like, wow. So I was like, Jeremy, relax, man. So anyway.
Did we ever get the Sentinel running? Or not running,
I don't know.
for web?
Did you grab the memory stick?
I did not grab the memory stick.
So I still don't know.
Okay.
So
all right. Yeah, Bill had he had a windfall of situations that were happening pre-race that
I didn't find out about until Wednesday before we were leaving.
Yeah. And he basically said, he goes, I know I dropped the ball. I had lists upon lists ready to go, but I just couldn't get there. I couldn't get it. And that is so unlike Bill. So he just, like I said, the windfall of
I got the bonus plan on
work.
This one, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have lists, and we had so much lack of time that I didn't even get to look at my lists. They're printed. Mm-hmm. They're ready. They're sitting right there. But we just didn't get it. So we did the best we could.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay.
Yeah, we'll get ready for the next one.
All right. I have less hair now, ladies, so you're gonna have to live off
All
your
right.
memories now.
Mm-hmm.
It was epic.
Yep.
Epic.
Yes,
Was it? Great haircut, Mr. Bill.
It was.
You were truly Iceman.
We had to go in there. We also decorated our helmets and everything, so it was quite fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
And the race was good too. How was the
race-
track?
I don't
The
know.
track was good.
So
Track was good.
I
Well,
wasn't on, so I don't know.
I wasn't
Yeah.
either. Ladies,
No.
before we go, one last
Yes.
thing. In part A of our Pittsburgh review.
Theming edition.
That's right. Yes, mostly
Yes.
theming and not driving, since I think Jennifer had all of the driving of everybody here, and I don't think it was an hour.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity.
Okay.
New Jersey Motorsports Park. The three of us. I say we go
Oh.
for it. I say we go for it.
Really?
Yeah.
We don't have anybody else on.
Mm-mm.
Oh, we
All
should
our-
grab
all our
Alan.
all our guests. Alan's got his car. I
Well,
think I
is-
think you keep saying you want to go for a win, so this is
Yeah.
our opportunity.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get the band together, and I'll check to see how Alan's car is too, and he can go
Okay.
forth.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Very well.
All right.
So
Part-
it's only us three in Jersey?
Yep.
All right.
Is Jeremy going to bring the race truck?
Yes.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Jeremy's got the race truck. Audra and Max and everybody has the
All right.
BMW, and Alan's got his Mustang.
Okay. All
But
right.
you keep saying how you want to do it and you want to go for it, and then I give you an opportunity that we can go for it, and you're like,
No,
oh,
we
no, no.
can. We can. I think between the four of us, we're a pretty strong team. So we'll double check for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Very well. Thanks, everybody.